Let's go. I wake up to a little bit of drool on my pillow, feel like it's gonna be a bad day. Yeah, I'm tired of shit, and the coffee ain't hit yet, damn, ain't that great. I don't wanna go to work, cause my boss is a jerk, and I'm not even that paid. I need a change in my life, cause I don't feel alive, and there's nothing that makes me happy. Hold my beer for a minute, I'm about to quit my job, cash in for a ticket. I'm going on a trip and I don't plan to visit. I'm gonna stay there till I feel like I'm winning, and this is just the beginning. I need a big change, help me feel like living. I need a big swing, home runs I'm hitting, and I'll never look back, moving on till I get it all. And we all got dreams, we all want things, but what you gonna do for it? How you gonna move for it? What you gonna be? And do you believe we can do anything? But what you gonna do for it? How you gonna move for it? What you gonna be?
Hello, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Unscripted. Gonzo won't be with us tonight. He's got errands to run. So you got me, you got Babyface Logan. I'm your boy, Jay McLovin. And eventually, he will get in here, Frankie the Yankee. And we will be unleashing at some point when he comes on our new segment called Close to Home. And it's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to be talking about our baseball teams. Logan will be doing the Braves. I'll be doing the Astros. Frankie will obviously be doing the Yankees, and lots and lots of things to talk about. But before I get into that, Logan, my brother, how are you doing today, man?
Doing great, Jay, on this Thursday here in Georgia, your former hometown now. But I'm doing good, man, doing good. And like you said, new segment debuting tonight. Looking forward to it. And like I said, we got baseball right now because that is the primary sport in the docket for all the major ones right now. But of course, whenever football rolls around, basketball rears its head again, we're going to get those in there. But we thought it was just going to be a nice little segment, Jay, for us to get on our soapbox and either praise or just absolutely pick apart our teams. That way we don't have to that way we can do it on our own time. Like I said, so the way it's going to work, just a little preview, is for however many people we have on here. So if it's me and Jay right now, we're each going to have 10 minutes maximum. Once you hit that 10-minute mark, you got to finish your sentence and get out of there. So 10-minute maximum, you don't have to go the whole way. And like I said, just us talking about our own local sports teams, and I'm looking forward to it, man.
Yeah, absolutely. And if anybody out there is watching on Jason McMahon's Facebook page on Unscripted, or if you're looking at so forth, I am monitoring that. So because I know we don't always get the comments, so I was told about that. I was scolded and reprimanded, and I am monitoring. So we will make sure to take care of that. Anyway, without further ado, man, make sure you check us out on all of our social media platforms. You got Facebook, Unscripted, Twitter, Unscripted Guys, Twitch, TikTok, and YouTube, all at Unscripted Sports. So make sure you like, share, and comment on our stuff there, man. We always love and appreciate that, as well as on ASAP. Also, their Facebook page and their content. Make sure you're liking and sharing and comment. That's how we get our stuff out to you guys, and that's how we get feedback, man. And we appreciate it, man.
And of course, Jay, your one-stop shop for all of those social platforms you see up on the screen, our link tree, which is in the description of all of our videos, all of our platforms we're streaming to right now. Like I said, check out our link tree. I know a few people on ASAP have that. Not sure off the top of my head, but I know a few of them do. So easy place to go there and check out all of their socials, give them some love and support. But Jay, without further ado, let's get things going. We had some history made last night, my friend.
Yeah, honestly, man. Herman. Ooh. I had to make sure I said that name right because Frank is very adamant. He even did me a voice demo to say how exactly to say it. And I told him to watch his mouth. I would say however I felt like it. But in all due respect to the man, Domingo Germán really threw a hell of a game. 27 outs, 27 batters, no walks, no runs, no hits. That is a quintessential definition of a perfect game. 24 people have accomplished that in the history of Major League Baseball, and Domingo is now a part of that select group. He is also the fourth pitcher in Yankee history to also accomplish that. The first one came in 1956 when a pitcher by the last name of Larson accomplished that feat. Next was David Wells, I believe, that did it in 98. At 120 pitches, he accomplished that. And then Cone did it in 99. I think he did it on around 88 pitches. And then you had your boy, Domingo Germán, who accomplished that feat in a mere 99 pitches. So, I mean, that just kind of tells you, Logan, you can say what we want, right? I mean, it was against the A's. And let's be honest, the A's aren't exactly the best team in the world. Right. Okay, they're not. But again, still to accomplish that feat is a hard thing to do, and he did it in 99 pitches. Yeah. Phenomenal, man. Freaking phenomenal.
It was a great thing to see, Jay. It really was. And the thing, too, is this is the first one that was been thrown since 2012. I mean, this is a 10-11 year gap of no perfect games. The last one was by Felix Hernandez back in the day. So, I mean, It's been a long time coming for a perfect game. And like you said, yes, it is against the Oakland Athletics. I did mess with Frankie this morning. I said, Frankie, he did kind of throw it against a AAA team. But no, I mean, because it's Oakland. They're not doing nothing this year. But like I said, hats off to him. Tremendous pitching performance. Like I said, didn't do it on many pitches either. I mean, and like I said, he was just mowing through the lineup. The defense was there for him too. And the Yankees bats also helped him out. They scored 11 runs. So he didn't have to worry about any of that. And like I said, just a memorable night in front of, unfortunately, not a whole lot of fans. I think the attendance was around 10, maybe I think around 12,000. So unfortunately, it wasn't at home. But hey, you take what you can get. Congrats to Mr. Germán. Puts his name in the history books, Jay. 24 only in the that's an insane stat to me. In the entire history of baseball, this is just the 24th time this has happened.
It's interesting. A couple of things I want to point out. Number one, it wasn't that long ago that Domingo was kicked out for a little bit for the sticky substances, and now a little while later, we're watching him do a perfect game, and that just kind of tells me it tells me a couple of things. Number one, it was against a lesser team that he got that, but at the same time, I'm like, bro, you don't need to do the sticky stuff. Apparently, your stuff is good enough.
Yeah,
it's good enough if you're going to throw a perfect game against a AAA team without sticky stuff, then that means you're good enough to go up against an above 500 team and maybe still get a no-no out of it, or even at very least, one or two hits. He don't need. That's what kind of throws me off. This guy doesn't need that sticky shit. He didn't.
Yeah. And like I said, Frankie's here. We're going to have him talk about, not yet, but in our very next segment. First off, Frankie, what's going on, man? How you doing? Frankie? You're unmuted, Frankie.
Yeah, I know. My bad.
There we go.
What's going on? I'm doing good. I'm doing fantastic. I'm doing wonderful. I'm doing phenomenal. I got a bunch of kids in the background that are pissing me off. But other than that, I'm doing fantastic. I'm blessed.
Good. We're glad to hear, man. Well, Jay, I've said my piece. Are you got everything at your system?
I just got two little things here. I just want to point out, just to show you just how hard it is. There were 2 perfect games in 2010. There were 3 perfect games in 2012, but all of them were in the National League. So it's been 11 years. 11 years since the last perfect game was pitched. And again, it's amazing to me, man. Domingo Germán dedicated that performance. This is what is really amazing to me. He dedicated that performance to his uncle. And Frankie, I know you already know the story. He dedicated that performance to his uncle, who passed away 2 days prior to the perfect game. He threw the curveball 40% of the time, and 20 out of the 27 outs came by way of the curveball. So that just kind of tells you, number one, where his command was. And that's what I'm trying to tell you. If 40% is on your curveball, and you know that the curveball is absolutely a command-driven pitch, and 20 out of 27 outs are with the curveball, he don't need that sticky stuff. Domingo, if you're listening to me, you're a great pitcher. Don't ever do that again. You don't have to. You got caliber stuff. Just trust your pitches and let them do what they do. The last thing I want to say is this. The most important thing to me, and Frank, I think you're going to get a kick out of this, and I know I'm going to say his name wrong, so I'm just going to call him Higgy. And I'm going to call him Higgy because I don't want to butcher this name. But the catcher whose last name is Higgy, or goes by Higgy.
Kyle Higashioka.
There you go, Higashioka. I told you I don't want to mess it up. The point I'm making, though, is he caught the no-hitter from Kluber in 2021, and then he goes on to catch the perfect game from Domingo in 2023. I just want to point out, yes, the pitcher is an important position, but don't forget that damn catcher, please. Yeah, apparently, they play a damn pivotal role.
Good point.
All right, now it's out of my system.
All right,
Frankie. Before we move on, this is your team. Was there anything you wanted to say before we get into close to home segment?
I mean, might as well just let them wait for it, right?
I'm about to say, hey, that'd be a segue.
All right.
I'm about to say, that's a segue right into what we're getting ready to talk.
I was about to say, let's hit it. All right, there it is. Frankie, you were up, my friend.
Yeah, man, I can't be really excited with what Domingo Germán did last night, and hearing what you boys said about him. Like, yeah, I understand with the sticky substance, he shouldn't have done that. He paid his price in getting the 10-game suspension, and then when he came back from his 10-game suspension, he went back to looking like typical old Diego, or looking like typical old Germán, to where he wasn't pitching really good. He was giving out a lot of runs. I mean, this is a guy who gave up about 6-7 runs against the Boston Red Sox last 2 weekends ago, and come out and he did what he did. The man is absolutely a phenomenal pitcher. He really is, and the Yankees see something in this guy since day one. It's just injuries has been hitting him, and after last night, I understand it's against the Oakland A's, but it's really hard in baseball to not just get a no-hitter, but to get a perfect game. Being the fourth Yankee in Yankee history to do that, and being the first since 1999, it's really special for all of us as a New York Yankee fan. We rarely see history made like that. And like Jay said, the man did it for his uncle who passed away 2 days prior, and it was something special for him. He raised the ball in the air at the end of the game because it was really emotional. Everybody helped out defensively and offensively. Finally got some hits and scored some runs. Domingo, sorry, keep saying Diego. Domingo Germán not only made history by being one of the four Yankees to do it, he also became the first Dominican-born pitcher to throw a perfect game in MLB history. No other Dominican. We've seen a lot of Dominican players in the sport of Major League Baseball, and he became the first ever Dominican-born pitcher to throw a no-hitter and throw a perfect game in the same game. And I was getting stuff from Logan and from Jay. Jay throwing out the sticky stuff, and then Logan over here saying it was against a AAA team, and it's true. The Oakland A's are kind of like a AAA team. They barely got any good players or any name player. I think they only got one player, and that's Ruiz in the outfield, the center field. I think he's an absolute gem and an absolute ball. I understand. Yes, they're a AAA team, but then again, it's really hard to pitch a perfect game. I'm talking about not no earned runs, no base hits, and also no walks. Throughout 9 innings, 27 batters, he only gave up 3 balls to 2 batters. Once happened in the 3rd inning, the other one happened in the 9th inning. The man did the perfect game in under 100 pitches. He only had 99 pitches. He was 1 away from 100. He had 99 pitches. I've never seen Domingo Germán last more than 6 innings. And I literally wrote Jay, and I said to Jay by the 6th inning, I said, Domingo Germán is done. Jay told me, he said, no way. He said he's only around like 65 or 75 pitches. I'm like, yeah, but Aaron Boone, he doesn't leave Domingo Germán out there more than 6 innings. The man went out there in the 7th inning, did what he did. Went out there in the 8th inning, did what he did. By the 9th inning, I'm over here in my shaking, my shaking legs and syndrome type thing, and I'm over here texting Jay, and I'm like, "Hey man, 3 more outs," and Jay's like, "Relax. You can, it might not happen if you keep jinxing it." And sure enough, we got it, baby. I'm happy for Domingo Germán. I'm happy for the New York Yankees. We actually got the series win today against the Oakland A's, beating them again today by a final score of 10-4. Now we're getting ready for a weekend series against the St. Louis Cardinals, baby. Let's go Yankees. Good job, Domingo. Congratulations. And keep up your stuff, brother.
All right, man. Good stuff, man, Frankie. And again, man, I always tell you, hey, let it happen. Don't jinx yourself, because every time we say it, we always jinx ourselves. So I had to keep you at bay until it was all said and done. Next up, talking about the Atlanta Braves, we got Mr. Logan Landers.
Oh, Frankie, I know you say you were feeling good, my friend, but I'm feeling great also. Hottest, well, you can probably say the hottest team in baseball. We had that series with Gonzo and crew. Unfortunately, to our dismay, there was that bet with Chris, Tony. If the Reds either beat or swept the Braves in their series, that one of them would wear a wrestling mask. Well, the Braves said, not today. That ain't happening. They got one. That's all we let them get. In the month of June, fellas, I did some digging. The Braves have lost a grand total of 5 games the entire month. They are the only team in baseball in the month of June to have not lost a series. I mean, what a phenomenal month in June when the weather's heating up. So is my team. You'll love to see it. They're off today, and then we begin a series with the Miami Marlins, who are surprisingly in second place in the National League East. Have been a very nice welcome surprise, honestly, to me. With the Phillies falling off, I mean, they're 10.5 back right now. Kind of looking like last year was one of those Cinderella fluke type of seasons. Washington Nationals, there's not even a point to discuss them. And the New York Mets, currently 17 games behind first place. A team with an insane payroll, all this hype around them saying they were going to get this division this year. They had it last year, fellas. They had it last year. Braves took it from them. This year, the Braves are just running away with it. They are tied with the Tampa Bay Rays in Frankie's AL East division for the best winning percentage in baseball right now. The Rays have played, I think, 2-3 more games, give or take, but winning percentage is still the same for those teams. Everyone's hitting right now. Everyone's doing great. Acuna is on track for a phenomenal season. I mean, they're projecting him to go 30, 40 home runs and 70 stolen bases potentially, which is unheard of. I mean, he's top vote getter in the All-Star game for the National League side, and he has been lights out this year. But I think with as much attention as he gets, I think some of the other guys on the roster don't get as much love because they're not as flashy. They don't have that media hype around them like Acuna does. But, I mean, Matt Olson, talking about athletics just a segment ago with Frankie and now coming over here. I mean, he's been phenomenal for the Braves this year. I know the batting average isn't, tremendous. It's 237, but he's leading the team in home runs with 26 on the year. So you'll take that average dip for home run power any day of the week. I mean, Jay, you have Yordan Alvarez, who we know isn't the most insane. He doesn't have the best averages, but if he hits you 40, 50 home runs, you don't care. I mean, Frankie, to a lesser, with Aaron Judge, I know his average isn't that low, but if he's hitting 50, 60 home runs again, you can take a dip in average for sure. Also, tremendous first baseman defensively also. He also leads the team in RBIs with 62. Acuna was leading the way in everything else. 331 average throughout 80 games this year. 107 hits and a 408 on-base plus slugging on the year. Also, some other guys. Austin Riley continuing his hot streak, hitting a good 265. Ozzie Albies also saw 261 with 18 home runs also. And a welcome surprise with Orlando Arcia, who is our average guy, hitting 303 on the year, a top vote getter in the All-Star game for shortstops, which I didn't see coming. And you got guys like Sean Murphy, who's been getting it done as well at the catching position, and the pitching. I mean, our pitching has been it's been riddled. I would say riddled, but there has been times this year where they've been injured, and you've had guys just come and step up. I mean, Bryce Elder, for God's sake, who came in the other day, had a great day. I mean, he's doing great. Spencer Strider is electric. Currently has 146 strikeouts, which I don't know if that's first in the MLB. I think it might be. I know it's top 5. I can say that for sure. But he's been, continuing his dominance coming over from last year. Charlie Morton, kind of hit and miss. He's been good in some aspects. Some aspects he's a little iffy, a higher ERA, but I mean, it's kind of just a revolving door of starting pitchers right now. But the bullpen, I got to give them credit. They've been doing work. I mean, there's a few kind of bad eggs in there in a way, but I mean, AJ Minter, he had some really rough outings about 20 games ago, but he's really turned it around. I mean, Kirby Yates, he's getting back on board. You got guys like Nick Anderson, AJ Minter, and a few others who have just been kind of welcome surprises. But all in all, put a nice little bow tie on this. I think the Braves have been great. I mean, they are probably the hottest team in baseball. And I hope that they can continue this going into the All-Star break here in a few weeks and keep their momentum going after, because we all know what happened last year with them, and they weren't looking so good in the All-Star break. And they came out of it and they were on fire. So hopefully there's not a reversal of fortunes this upcoming year. But I'm very pleased with them right now. I think it's been great. And like I said, I'm excited for him. Hopefully they can keep it up. And also, too, Jason, since I still have the floor, Atlanta Hawks. I don't think we talked about this. I mean, I wasn't in the show. John Collins is out of there. He is gone. He got traded for bag potato chips, pretty much. And sad to see him go. Sad to see him go. I mean, I knew it was inevitable. The Hawks did it, obviously, for trading or for cap space, because with the NBA really getting strict on cap space, I don't know if it's this year or the upcoming year, I forget which one, but they had to dump salary somewhere. So whether it was going to be Murray or if it was going to be Collins, it was going to be one of those guys pretty much. So they got rid of Collins for, they traded him to Utah for Rudy Gay, which Rudy Gay I think he's a solid player. Obviously, he's been around the league for over 15 years. I mean, you got to have a good bit of talent to be around the league that long and still play. Sorry, Udonis Haslem. But I think he's more so there to be a locker room guy. He's obviously the veteran of the team now, being, I believe, 36, 37, give or take. He's up there in age. But I'm curious to see how this team's going to go, because it's a lot of young pieces. I mean, this is a super young team. I mean, you got Trae Young, DeAndre Hunter, Okongwu, and a bunch of other guys. I know Murray is almost 30, give or take. But it's an interesting team. I think they have a decent core. I'm excited to see if they're going to get anyone, make a splash in free agency, perhaps. But I mean, I'm not saying this is going to be a team who is like in 21, who shocked the world, had that really good run in the playoffs. I can't say I'm confident in seeing that, but I don't think they're going to be as stagnant and as rough as last year, how they were that pretty much just up and down the entire year. I think that they've got, if the young pieces continue to develop, like the Trae Youngs, Hunters, all the guys I've mentioned before, Jalen Johnson, if they continue to develop, I think this team could be good in a couple of seasons. But for now, I see them kind of being – I still see them being in the playoffs, don't get me wrong. But I still see them being, 5 seed and below for the foreseeable future. And so, like I said, unless they make a splash in free agency, but that's too early to tell. But overall, like I said, happy for the Braves. They've been doing great. Hawks, interested in what they're going to do in free agency, who they're going to pick up. Sad to see John the Baptist go, but what a good run it was with him. But best of luck to him in Utah, just not against us. Jay McLovin, the floor is now yours, my friend. Talk about your Houston Astros and anyone else you want to shout out.
Yeah, absolutely, man. So I'm going to give you a little State of the Union on the Astros. I call this segment Slow Start. You might call it Out of Sync. Some may call it What the Hell. We were 2022 World Series champions. We come out this season, got some injuries, but that's not really why we're off to a slow start. I think we're off to a slow start because guys are they're not as hungry. I don't feel like we're as hungry right now as what we were last season. Let me just kind of start off like this. If you look at our team batting average, we're not doing all right. We're not doing bad. We're hitting 245 as a team. We ranked 18, I think, out of 32 teams. So we're like middle of the pack offensively. Our on-base percentage is right at 315. Our on-base slugging percentage is around 716. So it's not bad. The problem with the Astros, and I'm going to get into it a little bit more, but the problem with the Astros is our ERA is at 3.58. It's not all right, ERA. It's not great. It's all right. The problem is last year we were under 3. Our ERA as a pitching staff, starters and relievers, setup men and closers, all encompassed, was under 3. And here we are at 3.58 as a collective unit now. And that's really where the damn difference is. Yeah, you can say Alvarez is out, and I'll get more into Alvarez here in a minute. You can say Brantley's out. I'll get more into that in a little bit. You can say McCullers is out with injury with this forearm. You can say Garcia's out getting Tommy John. You can say Urquidy's still on the damn 60-day IL. But the problem is the guys that we still have that are here, that were here during the championship run last season, and even before then, even when we played Atlanta, these are the same dudes. And, you know, I look at my starters. Let's just take the starters. Or actually, and I do want to kind of go back. So if my batting average is 245 and my opponent's batting average versus my pitching staff is 241, you can see kind of where one's almost canceling out the other. Now, you can talk about errors, fielding, all the other stuff here in a minute, but that's kind of where our issue is where they're pitching, really. Valdez is, you know, he's still doing well. The guy's pitching 249, got a whip at 1.05. Got an on-base batting or opponent batting average of 225. So he's not really truly the problem, even though last night he kind of struggled against St. Louis. We did rally back. We did come back. We did kick the crap out of him at the end. We did win the series against St. Louis. But the problem is it's the other guys that, in my mind, aren't really doing what they're supposed to do, right? Javier, he's okay. He's pitching 325 or 3.25. Got the same opponent batting average of 225 like Valdez. You know, and his whip is at 1.12. So our top two guys are, you know, still doing what they did last season. You know, I think Javier had a little bit better ERA than what he's got now. But for the most part, you know, he still looks like Javier. Now, let's look at Brown. This is kind of Brown's rookie season. So I'm kind of giving him a little bit of a credit. He kind of dipped his feet in the water last season, their championship year. He started 2 games with an ERA of 0.86. Now he's got a full mix in there, and he's got an ERA of 3.62, which is terrible because I think Brown is better than this. He's got a whip at 1.20, and his batting average is not bad. It's like his opponent's batting average is 3. His batting average is 232. So, you know, he's not giving up a lot of runs, but the problem is where we go after Brown. You got J.P. France with Jim Cross down there and off the bench, covered him out of, I think it was out of Mississippi State, was saying that he really wasn't that great of a pitcher, and it's kind of showing now a little bit. France he's given up 9 home runs. He's got an ERA of 3.54. He's got a 243 opponent batting average. So, but then we look at Belak, and this is really the last of the starting pitchers that we have. And Belak he's just playing bad. He's given up 10 home runs. He's got a 4.37 ERA, 1.61 whip, which is atrocious. And then he's got a damn opponent batting average of 305. Let that sink in for a minute. Our last 2 pitchers, France and Belak, are 243 and 305. One gave up 9 home runs. The other one gave up 10. And they don't have a lot of starts under their belt. They really honestly don't. But that's just kind of where we are right now as a pitching staff, as a starting pitching staff, is we got 3 truly bona fide rookies with 2 guys with true championship caliber pitching experience. So you can kind of see one of the cracks in our pitching right there. The other one is you look at Blanco, our relief pitcher, who's got a 4.63 ERA, 1.51 whip, 261 opponent batting average. You go to Montero, if you know Montero, he was involved in 2 no-hitters. One, Frankie saw right before All-Star break, and the other one you saw in the postseason. I think that might have been against Frankie. No, I think it was Frankie's team. I think it might have been a different team. But either way, he's been involved in 2 no-hitters. And yet the guy gets the contract and then he goes up with a 7.76 ERA. Really? This is what you give me. I give you the contract. You go from two no-hitters. You're doing well. And then you give me a 7.76 ERA before the All-Star break, a week before the All-Star break. This is where you're sitting. You got a damn whip of 1.82. You're worse than the rookies right now. And then your batting average, your opponent's batting average is 336. This is what you're giving me after I give you the contract. You're worse than the damn rookies, Montero. Then you go to the garbage guy, Martinez. I never have liked Seth Martinez. I didn't like him when they brought him up. I sure as hell don't like him now. Again, 4.65 ERA, 1.45 whip, and a 254 opponent batting average. Garbage. Montero, garbage. Blanco, garbage. Now I'm giving you the weaknesses. You do got guys like Maton. You do guys got like Abreu. You do guys like Hector Neris that do have really, they're hovering around the 2 whatever ERA. So these guys are doing well. I'm showing you the weaknesses right now of the team in terms of the bullpen. Frankly, we talked about this at late, that the Astros' problem is the damn bullpen. Here's the numbers. They don't freaking lie. We got 3.58 ERA. We were at under 3 last season. And this is why the Astros are struggling to get back into the damn wild card. Hell with the division. Just get me into the wild card. Can we be another Phillies team? That's kind of where I'm at. I will say the surprises. Bregman started out really horrible, had a 202 batting average in the first, I think it was month and a half of the season. Brian McCann gives him a call, says, yo, Bregs, your forearm is too low. Square up your shoulders. Bring your arm up. And he did that. And now the dude's on fire. Like on fire. He had like a couple of grand slams. His batting average is up around the 250s from 202. He's doing well. His on-base percentage is right at 341. His on-base slugging percentage is right at 745, 11 home runs. Abreu, now this is the dude that surprised me. This dude was a runner-up to Goldschmidt in the National League Player of the Year. Comes to Houston. Supposed to be the guy that's going to do great things for us. And what does he give me? 232, 75 Ks, 6 home runs. Abreu, go get Montero. Figure y'all stuff out. Because this is bull crap. I can't even say the word I want to say because I'm trying to keep it professional. But this is crap. Dubon, this the journeyman. The journeyman comes over from the Giants, plays last year underneath Altuve because Altuve is getting the spotlight because Altuve is Altuve. So Dubon's just sitting there waiting to get his opportunity. Well, this year he got his opportunity. You know he's hitting? 285. You know what he's hitting before Altuve come back? In the low 300s. So Dubon, I love you, man. 714 on-base slugging percentage, 307 on-base percentage. Yeah, I'm digging it, bro. I'm digging you. Jokes, our rookie, is batting 257 with a 690 on-base slugging percentage. Again, another guy that has just come out of nowhere and playing great ball as a rookie. Yanier Diaz. I was kind of struggling with letting Vasquez go. I'm still kind of struggling with that. But Yanier has stepped his game up. Batting 275 as our catcher with a 792 on-base percentage. Those are the surprises for the Astros this season.
1 minute, Jake.
Oh, yeah. So my last minute is this. Brantley, why the hell did we sign you? You still ain't back from last year's shoulder surgery. Urquidy, 60-day DL. Come on, Urquidy, man. Get Alvarez, oblique. Hitting off the tee, took soft toss. Garcia, you know where he's at. McCullers, Jesus, I don't even know why you're even on the team anymore with all the crap you're going through. But Alvarez, just listen to this. June of 23 oblique. April of 23 neck. September of 22 ankle. September of 22 hand. And I'm not even going to go into McCullers and Brantley because those are even longer. My thing is, Astros, you got to get it figured out. The trade deadline's coming up. We need a left fielder to help out Alvarez, help out Jokes. That's the position we need. As for the bullpen, figure it out. I'm done.
All right. Debut segment. Feel good about it?
I love Jay right now. Like, I've never heard Jay give his team so much shit. I'm sorry.
And Frankie, we get to hear it 2, potentially 3 times a week now. We don't have to wait till we get a topic about it. We get this every show. So,
hey, and the funny thing is, before we get into Otani, I didn't even tell you the quality starts. That was I must say that for next.
Save that one for our next show.
Yeah.
I'm about to say this.
I don't believe it, man. What a funny time. But let's get into some Otani. Holy crap! We just talked about Domingo Herman and what he accomplished. And by the way, Frank, I still want to tell you, man, congrats, bro. That was one hell of a win and one hell of a perfect game. And as you saw, Domingo Herman made history as the 24th guy in MLB history to do that feat. Now let's talk about Otani. There's another guy that made history. We had 2 history-making pitchers. Otani fans 10 and gets 2 home runs. He does it with a cracked nail. Remember last night when the A's dude went down with 3 pitches? He had a little tingling. This dude fanning 10, 2 home runs, and he got a cracked fingernail. What a time to be alive, man. Again, the dude with 3 for 3, plus a walk, 2 RBIs, fans 10, 6 innings, 4 hits, 1 run, 2 walks. Now, his ERA is kind of not as well as I'd like for it to be. He's got a 3.02 ERA, and he's 7-3 for the season. But I want to point this out real quick. He's the first American League pitcher in 60 years to homer twice and strike out 10. He leads Major League Baseball with 28 home runs, on pace for 50, maybe possibly 60 if he can get hot, or a little hotter than what he already is. He's the last player to hit 2 home runs in fan 10 since Pedro Ramos for the Cleveland, at that time, Indians on July 31st, 1963, for guess who? None other than the Angels. And a double hitter. Let that sink in for a minute. Otani, great job, man. Great job. 60 years since 63 against your team, we see another 10 fan, 2 home runs. Logan?
Yeah, Jay, I mean, this dude is we've really, obviously he's been hyped up since he came into the league, and he has been as good as expected, plus more. Jay, and we say this every freaking time. How are the Angels so bad? Dude, you have 2 of the best players that baseball has seen, maybe in its history, for sure in this current era, and they have yet to win a playoff game. Mike Trout's only been to the playoff once. 1 series, and he's been in the league since, I think, 2011. Maybe a little earlier, but still, it's been over 10 years. Otani's never been to the playoffs, Jay. I mean, my God. And they're running out of time. That is a very small window he has to figure out, well, are we going to keep him or are we going to trade him? Because you haven't built around him. You tried Rendon. We saw how that went. I mean, everyone's forgot about him. Pitching staff is what's been killing them for the last 10 years. But if it wasn't for this guy, the Angels would be obsolete. Honestly,
yeah.
I mean, I love Mike Trout. Don't get me wrong, but he'd be one of those superstars that you don't hear really much from, like a guy in Seattle, like a guy in Milwaukee. One of the, But like I said, Otani, tremendous player. It seems that every time he's on the bump, either if he's pitching or if he's in the field, he makes an impact for the Angels in a positive manner, right? It's crazy just how experienced he is and how rarely you ever see him make mental errors. I mean, he's a polished baseball player in every sense of the word. And I mean, like I said, I love watching him play. It's a treat. And I just, like I said, striking out 10, homering twice. You mentioned it's been quite some time since that's happened. Plus, he had a slight injury also, that cracked nail. It wasn't like he was 100%. He still had it's hard throwing a baseball, Jay, with a cracked nail. It's yeah. But, man, I so wish that the Angels would do something with this guy to help out Mike Trout. Jay, we've said it pretty much since our show's been alive for 349 episodes. Do something with him or trade him, because clock is ticking, Jay McLovin, about what they have to do. I mean, because I think I think he's a free agent coming up pretty soon. I can check that real quick.
I believe it's this year. Isn't this the last year before he becomes free agent?
Yep. So he is. Yep. He becomes an unrestricted free agent in 2024, which means he can sign anywhere without the Angels getting squat. Nothing for him. And if they let this dude walk for nothing, like if the Yankees, the Dodgers, whoever's going to throw him the most money, dude, that is going to be one of the biggest fumbles in not just the franchise history for the Angels, but in baseball history, Jay. I'm just saying. I'm off my soapbox. Frankie Yankee, what do you think about Ohtani making some history here?
Yeah, man, Ohtani's an absolute monster. I mean, not just pitching, but hitting as well. And this is a man who really realistically came in second place in the American League and the MVP race with Aaron Judge.
Mm-hmm.
And now with Aaron Judge being on the injury list, not being able to, defend his title as the MVP, Shohei's basically showing out that he really wants to show the MLB world why he should be MVP, not just last year, but this year as well. He's doing things, like Jay said, that we haven't seen in 60 years. 60 years. That's longer than both me and Logan being born.
And
Combined. Right? Combined. Because Logan's in his 20s and I'm 30. So
hey, it was before my time, too. I was born in 72. This dude did it like in 63.
Look at that. So none of us have seen
none of
Shohei Ohtani is doing. So, I mean, this man is an absolute stud. And he deserves everything that's coming his way. Honestly, if this man re-signs with the Angels next year, I'm gonna be pissed. I'm gonna be pissed because I know for a fact that this man. I'm not saying that because I want him to become a Yankee. I'm pretty sure. I'm 100% when I say this that every single body in the MLB world is gonna want this man on their team. Jay's gonna want him. Logan's gonna want him. I'm gonna want him. Probably Chris, Mike, like we're all gonna want this man on our team. Everyone wants this man, and it's because of how great he is, not just pitching-wise, but hitting-wise as well. And if he goes to the right team, the really, really right team for him, I guarantee that this man alone can win 2, maybe even 3 World Series if he's with that right team. Because that's how good this man is. He is really good. And he also showed the world at the World Baseball Classics when he helped Japan win the title. Against who? Team USA.
That's a good point.
I mean, what more can this man do to show the world that he deserves what he deserves? The Angels clearly are not giving it to him, and he's giving it all for the Angels.
That's a good point.
Yeah, that's kind of where we are. What's our next topic there, Low? Oh, by the way, real quick, that split nail was on his right hand, his throwing hand, on his middle finger. Now, Frankie, part of that grip is really heavily dominant on that middle finger. And you can only imagine, they use those fingernails to grip the dang ball. So you already know, the cracked nail? Yeah, okay, good luck with that.
Jay, we're going on to the ice NHL offseason. Talking the draft happened last night. Doing a little draft recap.
Yeah, absolutely. We talked about Bedard. That was just really kind of the easy pick. I kind of wanted to look kind of where everybody went in terms of us. I didn't have a dog in the fight until I think it was around 61, and we took Tristan Bertucci, the defensive guy out of Flint. I don't know, man. I gave us a D. I gave the Stars a D only because, number one, we didn't have really a whole lot to draft with. And number two, we really drafted pretty damn late. So it's not like, our guys, they're not really difference makers. They're just kind of middle of the rung pack guys. So, yeah, I didn't really do the Stars, they got an okay guy. They got a defenseman. I don't really expect him to make a huge impact. So we'll see if the guy even makes the team. I really thought, Logan, you drafted okay for where you were. I think at number 30, you were drafting the Hurricanes, Bradley Nadeau, which that was a left wing.
Yep.
I think he's out of he's going to University of Maine. He's going to University of Maine. He just committed there. So he's a good playmaker, deceptive. I think you'll get something good out of him. I kind of graded your team at a B. Again, just because where you drafted a left wing, I think a right wing, but they're all kind of late guys, light guys, but high upside. So we'll see if your upside and your gambles pay off. They're kind of smaller guys, but they got a really good skill set. So we'll see where you land with that. And then, of course, the Bruins, again, the Bruins were kind of in the same spot the Dallas Stars were in. You guys didn't draft until like damn near 92, and it just wasn't a whole lot truly available where you were drafting. So, Frankie, don't get mad at me when I give you a D, because I gave the Stars a D+. I gave you a D not because of who you selected, but just how late and how small amount of pick you actually had. So that's why I kind of gave you a D there. But other than that, man, I think the Bruins drafted Christopher Pelosi, the center out of the U.S. Hockey League. And, of course, Logan, you drafted at 94 with Jaden Perreault, that right wing. So you drafted a lot of wings. Frankie drafted a center. I drafted a defenseman. Neither one of us really, I don't know. I think Logan had the better end of that deal. Logan?
Yeah, no, like I said, I'm glad with the selections they got with obviously Nadal being their only first round draft selection. Left winger, like I said, I think he's got some good upside. Day 2, we got a lot of guys, Jay. We had probably about maybe 8 or so guys whose names I'm not even going to try and pronounce. I'm going to learn them in the offseason before I know before opening night, because that's what we do here. But like you said, we got a few wings. We got a couple of right wings, got a defenseman or two. But like I say, I think overall they went guys who were good with scoring, good on the puck, good with not giving turnovers away and whatnot. But I think, like I said, I like the way that Carolina got some guys. They got some super competitive players. And like I said, I think a B is solid. Obviously, you didn't get one of the top picks in the draft. But I think overall, like I said, going at number 30. But they still got some solid players, I think. And, we'll see who will stand out.
Yeah, absolutely. Frankie, I think me and you, man, I know you specifically more than anything. I mean, your team last year was the hottest team in the regular season. You kind of petered out a little bit against the Panthers, but again, that Panthers team was incredibly tough. But I think you guys got the right team. I don't really know if this draft really meant a whole lot for you because your team is just really good. I think you just need to come back next year, regroup, and just do the whole thing over again. But what was your thought process, man, on what your team and how they did, and just the draft as a whole?
Yeah, I mean, like you said, we were the best team in hockey coming into the postseason. Obviously, it didn't end the way I wanted to. But I was really proud of these boys, especially being our first year, paying attention to the sport of hockey, and actually becoming true fans of this sport. There's not really much I can say about the draft. I'm gonna be real with you. I only paid attention up to about the first 5 picks. I really did, and then I seen online who the Bruins had picked up and stuff, and it doesn't make a shocker to me, right? I mean, they didn't have a really high end pick to get someone really top talented. I think what they did was great, and the people that surround the draft pick that we got, they're gonna help him develop to be a good hockey player, and he's in a good system of the Boston Bruins. You give it a D, I give it a D. Logan probably give it an F, but that's just Logan.
Wow.
Yeah, man. Like there's nothing more I can say about the Bruins. I mean, it's kind of like the Kansas City Chiefs when they had the 32nd overall pick. You don't get the best player, but what's different with football compared to hockey is with football, all first 32 picks in the first round are honestly talented in their own way. With hockey, it's kind of like the same way, but just like I don't think they're like that talented player like Conrad is or whatever. How you ever say that kid's name? That went over to Chicago. But I'm glad with what the Bruins did. I think it'll work out. Let's go Bruins. I'll learn all their names this offseason too, Logan.
There we go.
Hey, I think just with the where we were drafted in this draft, like Frankie said, when you're drafting, around the 60s or whatever, like, Logan, you did get lucky and you got one of the top 32 that first day. So you were the only one out of us that had that opportunity. But where me and Frankie were drafting, and majority of where Logan was drafting, you're just looking for that diamond in the rough at that point. You're looking for that guy that could pan out to something.
Yeah, good point. Good point, Jay. All right.
What's our next topic? I know we got one more. Oh, are we at final thoughts already? Hey, real quick. Yeah, we get final thoughts. I did want to comment on your John Collins thing real quick.
Go ahead, man.
That you mentioned in your thing. I think you got a bag of chips for him. I don't think you got.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think you got. You know,
the
I don't think you got the Walmart. You know, Lay's or Ruffles. I think you got the Walmart. I think you got the Walmart house brand.
Okay.
Bag of chips for that. What do you think?
Are they at least salted?
No.
No. Oh man,
No.
I don't get any seasoning.
Hey, Logan, they use imitation salt. You get the imitation. Okay, you get imitation salt.
We don't get the Himalayan pink salt. We just get the basic table salt, huh?
You get that stuff that comes in little packets at Dairy Queen.
Oh, we get the salt packets on the table. Okay. Hey, you know, it is what it is, man. To quote you.
Hey, real quick, I do want to get you guys' thoughts on one thing before we do get the final thoughts on it. We didn't put it in there, but I just want to ask you one quick question, man. What did y'all think? Kyrie Irving looks like he's going to visit the Suns. Now, it was expected, and I think he was actually even given an offer by Dallas. So Dallas has reached out to him, but now he's talking about going and visiting the Suns. Do you think that maybe he looked at the Dallas deal and said, "Oh, hell no," and you know is doing a Brunson?
Hey, I was about to say, you think he's pulling a Jalen Brunson?
Hey, I'm just asking a question. I mean, if they gave you a deal and you didn't even give a counter, you just went straight over to the Suns and said, "Okay, I'm here."
Hey,
let's go.
Jay, if I'm Dallas, I better pray this man comes back. As much as they gave up for him for half a season, for them to not even do anything, not even make the playoffs. I mean, you gave up a good bit of young talent for a guy for a rental for half a season to miss the playoffs, and it's expected that he's going to leave. I don't understand that logic. I really don't. Now, going to Phoenix Suns, a team who we've said since Durant got traded there, their starting five, absolutely tremendous. Booker, at time Paul, Ayton, Durant, I mean, those three alone were phenomenal. But their bench absolutely sucks. There's no sugarcoating it. So you can get Kyrie if you want to, but you got to boost that bench up. And you're not going to have the money to do so, Jay, because you're going to be paying these guys boatloads upon boatloads. I mean, Durant, Booker, those two alone are some of the highest paid players in the league. Ayton.
Don't forget Bill. Bill's like on a $200 million deal.
Jay, I
don't know how much he's got left on that deal, but
all right, Jay, I'm not even going to front, Jay. I completely forgot about him. Bradley Beal.
Bill's on a huge contract.
See, this is what Phoenix does, man. They make me forget about people. But yeah, I mean, is it an all-star lineup? Obviously, starting five. It's tremendous, top to bottom. But I don't know, Jay, because that cap space they are going to have to eat. They don't have a draft pick until, what was it, like 2034 or something? I texted Frankie or something that day. I said, all right, Frankie, we don't have to talk about the Lakers not having draft picks anymore. The Suns have done blowing them out the water by 10 years. So that talking point we had for 6 months is no longer valid, unfortunately. Frankie, we had our fun, but it's now moving over to Phoenix because
finally
they have a present. Do they have a future? I don't know, because look, Durant, he's getting older. Let's not lie. He was drafted in 2007. He's been in the league for over 15 years now. I mean, Beal's been around since what, 2013 maybe? Something like that.
It's been a minute.
Yeah,
my question is just simply this. I mean, even if you look past the age, even if you look past the money, right? And Frankie, I'm going to give you this question because I'm really curious to see what you think about. Look, you know all about ball dominant type people. You got Kyrie Irving. How is Kyrie Irving going to work in this offense? Because you know he's ball dominant. You know Kyrie's ball dominant. You got to get Booker the ball. You got to get Ayton the ball. You got to get what's his face? Bradley Beal the ball. Yeah. How's Kyrie going to – look, on paper, at every position, it's the damn dream team.
I'm about to say, 2K, they're going to kill
Kyrie going to come into this and make the chemistry work to where everybody can be successful?
I'm going to be real with you. It's going to be confusing to even bring Kyrie Irving in because if you think about it, both Bradley Beal and Kyrie are point guards.
That's true.
Yeah.
Devin Booker is a shooting guard. You're not going to sit here and tell me, oh, well, you could put Kyrie at point guard or shooting guard. You could put Bradley Beal at point guard or shooting guard, and you could put Devin Booker at small forward. Yeah, I would love to see that. I would love to see Devin Booker go up against LeBron James and all these big small forwards. Like
I don't think
one of them are going to have to ride the bench. One of them are going to have to ride the bench, and it's most likely going to be Bradley Beal.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
And also another point, just to echo that, fellas. What defense is going to be played?
What bench players are going to come in, Logan?
Exactly.
Logan, I got one better for you, Logan. Okay. Look, I got one better. Bradley Beal has been quoted as saying, coming to Phoenix Suns has rejuvenated him, and he feels re-energized. All that to say that if they do hire Kyrie Irving, just like Frankie said, I got re-energized only to ride the bench and come in as a second unit. Okay, that's going to work out well.
Not only did he say that when he got traded to the Phoenix Suns, he said that when he signed a freaking multi-year contract and got so much money with the Wizards. This money I just got, it re-energized me.
I mean, hey, to be fair, if I got that type of money, I would say the same thing. Let's be real here, Frankie. We'd all say that.
Listen,
we'd all should.
Man,
I'm gonna stick with my. It's not a prediction. It's definitely a spoiler. Thank you, Paul Heyman, because I'm going to be real with y'all. Since day one, I have said Kevin Durant is a what? He's not a bad player. He's not a bad
he's garbage.
He's a bum. He is a bum. He is a bum. He's not even garbage, Jay. He's not even garbage. He's the overfilled dumpster that the garbage man don't even want to pick up because it smells so much like. Yeah, you know what I was going to finish. I want to be polite. I don't want to be all
Frankie, family friendly fun here.
Yeah, I'm trying to, but like KD, in my eyes, KD's a bum, and I know I'm gonna get so much hate from this, but I stick behind from what I said since day one. You guys, since you first met me, you guys know how much hate I have for KD, and it's not because I hate the man outside of NBA and how he is, and I feel like I'm the only one that knows how bad KD is behind the sports of NBA. But the man, he honestly shows it on the court. Nobody likes to see it because they're too confused with his quote-unquote best ball skills type thing. But listen, KD's a bum. He's a bum. He got 2 rings because he went to Golden State Warriors. What he do after that? He went to one playoff series with the Brooklyn Nets and lost.
Yeah.
Or no, he went to 2.
They lost.
He went to 2. Right?
Oh, he did more than just lose.
He
did more than just lose. He got embarrassed.
He lost to Milwaukee.
Yeah.
And then he got swept by the Boston Celtics.
Yeah.
Listen.
Well, hell, what did he do before he got there and after? Nothing. Buckus.
It's ridiculous, and I feel like the only person that I was able to open the true eyes of KD was Jay McLovin and Rob Scott. Those 2 men. Last year, they were thinking I was talking crazy. By the end of the season, I changed their thoughts, I changed their eyes, and I've changed their minds. And now they see the same thing that I see. It's trueness that KD is a bum. He's a bum. The man can't do anything. And then you're going to bring in Bradley Beal and now saying you're going to bring in Kyrie. So you're telling me, and it pisses me off. And I know we're going to final thoughts, and I know the show's almost ending. But what pisses me off is that the entire world wants to go ahead and ban or banish or however you say it to LeBron James for trying to quote unquote be on so many super teams, but yet they don't want to talk about Kevin Durant. Nobody wants to talk about Kevin Durant, a man who went to the Golden State Warriors to be in the form of a super team, a team that was already a super team. You just made them a little bit more better. Okay, they would have won that championship without you. No doubt about it.
That's true, though. I really believe that too.
Hold on. Frankie's spitting right now.
and then you go to Brooklyn, who you already teamed with Kyrie. Now you're trying to bring him to Phoenix. You already teamed with him in Brooklyn.
It didn't work.
Exactly, Logan. And you think bringing him to Phoenix is going to change something? Oh, I forgot. It's because they don't have James Harden or Ben Simmons. They got Devin Booker, and now they got Bradley Beal. So apparently they're so much better now. It's ridiculous. You're a bum, KD. You're a bum. Everybody in this world that we call Earth, or on this planet that we call Earth, they need to stop trash talking to LeBron James about his quote unquote super teams that he's always in, and start looking at Kevin Durant, who always wants to be on a super team but can't win it without Steph Curry and Klay Thompson and Draymond Green. Yeah.
All right, man. Let's get into some final thoughts in here, man. Frankie, since you kind of left off, we're going to go bottom up to the top, man. Give me your final thoughts. I know what you said about KD, but what else final thoughts you got out there, brother?
Hey, breathe real quick, yo.
I was about to say, you gotta get his breath.
He's bringing so much hate out of me that it's like, All right. My final thoughts. The Yankees won the series against the Oakland A's. They did what they had to do.
Mm-hmm.
They are moving on to go ahead and face the St. Louis Cardinals this weekend. It's going to be an interesting one. It's going to be between me and Randy again. If you guys know the history of me and Randy, we just had our little moment in the NBA playoffs between the LA Lakers and the Memphis Grizzlies.
That's true.
And it was really interesting. So get ready for baseball time this year, because this is the first time that Randy and I are going to get not face to face, but be talking back and forth with baseball. And I can't wait for that one. I'm also watching the right now. I don't know if I'm already late on watching it. It looks like it's past due or whatever. But the Capital One, the match with Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce versus Steph Curry and Klay Thompson. I'm looking at that right now. I'm watching it. Also in breaking news with the New England Patriots, they have re-signed Jawan Bentley to remain in New England Patriots for 2 more years on I think it was like a $10.5 million contract with $4 million guaranteed. And I am being told by both Devontae Parker being signed last night and Jawan Bentley re-signing tonight, it does not mix in with the potential signing of DeAndre Hopkins. So I am waiting for DeAndre Hopkins to make an announcement on which team he's going to go to. He's not making it yet. Yeah, he's not making it yet because training camp don't start till the end of July. So hopefully by the time of mid-July to close to the end of July, we will find out where DeAndre Hopkins ends up.
Yes. All right. Jay, I also have some breaking news. The MLB All-Star voting has concluded. All the starters have been revealed. Let's go through the list here. We'll start with the American League, Jay McLovin.
Okay.
At catcher, we have Jonah Heim for the Texas Rangers. First baseman, Yandy Diaz from the Tampa Bay Rays. Second baseman, Marcus Semien, Texas Rangers. Third baseman, Josh Jung, Texas Rangers. Shortstop, Corey Seager, Texas Rangers. In the outfield, you have Mike Trout on the Los Angeles Angels. Aaron Judge from the New York Yankees, who was injured, so we'll see if he's playing in that game or not, but he did get voted as a starter. And the other outfield spot is Randy Arozarena from the Tampa Bay Rays. And the designated hitter is, of course, Shohei Ohtani. Over to the National League, catcher Sean Murphy, Atlanta Braves. First baseman, Freddie Freeman, Los Angeles Dodgers. Second baseman, Luis Arias, Miami Marlins. Third baseman, Nolan Arenado, St. Louis Cardinals. Shortstop, Orlando Arcia with the Atlanta Braves. Outfield, Ronald Acuna Jr., also Atlanta Braves. Then also in the outfield, you have Corbin Carroll for the Arizona Diamondbacks. Mookie Betts with the Los Angeles Dodgers. And your designated hitter is J.D. Martinez, also with the Los Angeles Dodgers. So
why are the Dodgers players getting into the All-Star?
Because
I understand Mookie
it's
Betts,
voting.
But J.D. Martinez, are you kidding me? And then all of these Atlanta Brave players, like, are you kidding me?
So I asked Jay McLovin, you guys didn't get a starter this year.
Oh,
yeah,
hey,
I'm calling horse shit on it, man.
Hey,
I apologize, but bro, look, man, Tucker has a buttload of stolen bases, batting .281, and this dude's not in there.
So would you put him over? It'd have to be over what, Arozarena then?
But
I'm just saying, the dude's batting .281, over 700 on base percentage, like 15 stolen base. Anyway, man,
so,
I'm let him have it.
You know what gets to me? You know what gets to me on that, Jay, is Logan said not one. I don't know if you guys got any players in the All-Star. He said, yeah, I don't got no starters. But that also comes to mind. You got a lot of people that are Houston Astro fans in the state of Texas. So does that mean that your own people in Texas aren't voting?
I don't think
there's a lot of Astros.
I don't think so. This is what it is, man. I mean, I don't know, man. Altuve's batting .279. Little boy's batting .280. What? Hey, it is what it is, man. Hey, you know what? One of the best ways to shut people up is let them have the All-Star break. Let's get the World Series pennant and move on. It's all good.
I mean, Aaron Judge is on the injury list and he's still getting votes. I don't know why.
I don't know. I mean, nothing against Corey Seager and all, but last time I checked, man, hey, Pena's still the MVP. So I don't know what these dudes are doing. Whatever.
Also, Damien, I see Damien. Why isn't Luis Roberts Jr. in the All Stars? Well, I can tell you why. He plays for the White Sox. That's pretty much it. I mean,
yeah, that is true. That is true. I mean, if you really look at it, look at the not just the names that Logan have mentioned, but the teams that they're playing on. Most people in the world that watch baseball or even vote for a baseball All-Star break, they vote for people that are on teams that are like basically the Yankees, the Dodgers, right now the Braves, because the Braves have been so hot since about like 2019 or whatever. I mean, they've been doing what they do. They come from behind, but they're winning their divisions coming from behind. They won the World Series in 2021. So, I mean, like, or was it 2019?
It was 21.
2021, okay, sorry. So, yeah, in 2021, they won the World Series. So, like, they're being known now around the world. And then also doing what they're doing this year in that division. I mean, people are looking at the Braves.
Just
and
run
then
away.
And then you, excuse me. And then you have all these other teams. I mean, I don't understand why the Houston Astros aren't getting it. I don't know if it's because, of history being made or not history being made, but past history and the world just looking at them as, their past. I don't want to say it because I don't want to upset Jay, and I'm trying to get away from that. But, Jay, sometimes your history does reflect on some of your players and your organization. I feel like that's why the fans don't vote for your guys. But there is some people, like you said, Tucker, that should be in the All-Star starter. I mean, I know for a fact Jordan Alvarez, if he didn't get hurt, he would definitely be an All-Star starter.
So I'm looking at the right field. Just so you know, I'm looking at the right fielders in 2020, the top right fielders in 2023 at MLB. And let me tell you who they are. Number one, Aaron Judge.
Okay.
But he's hurt.
Yep.
Number two.
So he'll get replaced with someone we don't know who.
Just follow what I'm saying. Mookie Betts at number 2.
Okay.
National. So, yeah, American League, National League. Bryce Harper, number 3, National League. Number 4 would be Acuna Jr., National League. Number 5, Fernando Tatis, National League. And then number 6 is Kyle Tucker, American League. So you got the number 2 guy at right field. And bear in mind, he also plays center. Right field, the number 2 guy in right field. And he's not – I'm just saying, man, sometimes people maybe it goes to what he just said. Maybe Kyle Tucker's just overlooked. But you can't overlook what the man does. It's right there. It is. I'm not going to get worked up on this.
Say, he might slide into the Judge's spot because Judge ain't going to play. Let's be real here. He ain't going to play.
Even if Judge did play, I mean, it just –
I don't want Judge to play.
Yeah.
What the hell? I don't want you to – You've been out since like early June.
At the end of the day, man, look, guys, the All-Star break, I've said this a couple of times, it's good to make the All-Star break, but I don't put a lot of credibility in the All-Star break, just like you don't put credibility in the home run thing, because a lot of people will tell you that, and I think we all know this, when you got a guy who's doing well in the season hitting home runs, he goes to the All-Star break, it messes up his swing, he doesn't come back the same way. No, I'm good. You know what? Let these dudes rest. The Astros need to rest. Let's get back from our injuries. And let's attack the second half of the season, because I don't care about the All-Star break. I care about the season. I care about where my team is sitting at the end of all this. So that's the way I look at it. It is what it is. Hey, we are where we are. Right now, we're kicking the crap out of St. Louis 6-0 in the third inning. By the way, J.P. Francis on the mound. And Logan, you got the night off. Chris has got the night off. Frankie, unfortunately, I think you got the win tonight. I think you spanked the A's. I think 10-4 or 10.
We already won 10-4.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So you did well tonight. I did well. I'm gonna do well tonight. I guarantee you. And then
don't say that. Don't say that.
I got to take my own advice I gave you. Just let it happen. But yeah, man, it is what it is. But we'll see what happens. Hey guys, before we get out of here, man, my final thoughts are: continue to check us out, man. This close to home segment is going to be a staple. We're going to continue to cover our teams as we go forward, man. It's going to be a lot of fun. I can't wait till we get into other sports after baseball, football, basketball. It's going to be. I think this year is going to be a lot of fun. I think for everybody except maybe Logan, football and basketball is probably going to suck. But other than that,
chill. What's up, Cowboys fan?
Hey, listen, the Cowboys will do great, and then we'll be horrible at the end. It's a cycle of life.
It's just rinse and repeat.
It's just rinse, recycle, repeat. That's exactly what it is. I'm going to put the button on the pause button and pray for a different outcome, but I know it'll be. Check this out, guys, on our link tree, like we had posted earlier. Unscripted at Facebook, Unscripted Guys on Twitter, and then Unscripted Sports on TikTok, Twitch, and YouTube. And please like, share, and subscribe. We look forward to hearing from everybody. Damian Hernandez, Jay Ness, all the guys that commented from ASAP and such. Much love and appreciation. And man, we'll see you guys next time.
What'd you just say, Jay? Yeah. Oh. Hold on.
Oh.
Hold on.
What is it?
Hold on.
What is it?
Hold on.
What?
This Saturday, Money in the Bank.
Oh.
Money in the Bank this Saturday in London, in the O2 Arena. I'm hoping to get with my boys after the show, or maybe we can do it now, give a little breaking moment for you guys. I know, Logan, you have to work. I don't know if you're going to be able to watch it. But this Saturday does start at 3 p.m. afternoon time, 3 p.m. Eastern time. So hopefully instead of us going live at 1 p.m. for you guys, maybe we'll go live at 3 p.m. and do a little quick watch along for you guys of Money in the Bank, because this is one pay-per-view that nobody's going to want to miss. We're going to watch Prison Dom going against the American Nightmare. I didn't mean to interrupt. Listen, I didn't mean to interrupt. Catch us Saturday. We'll break down more news for you guys on our Unscripted page. Just watch it. We love you guys. Thank you for watching. Sorry. Bye.
See ya.